What up, guys? Welcome to the Vault 500, day 32. We doing it, man. I appreciate you guys for tapping in. King here, and I guess I'm your host. I've been your host for, I guess, like the past 60 days. So I've been streaming for about 60 days now because I did the 30-day challenge, and then now I'm doing the 500, the Vault 500. If you're just tapping in, the Vault 500 is daily business tips, advice just on my personal experiences, and looking in the vault of other creators and other business owners to see what they did to reach their level of success. And I featured a lot of different and talked to about a lot of different types of artists, from engineers, computer engineers, cosmetic design, cosmetic creators, so it really doesn't matter. My focus is, as long as you created your business while you were working hard on that day job and you created your dream on the side, that's the type of people I like to feature on the Vault 500. So thank you again. The Vault 500 day 32. It's King. I'm here, and I do have a business feature today, but I wanted to talk a couple of minutes about the Monday mindset, since today is Monday. And I wasn't really sure if I wanted to actually get on today. I had my doubts, and I was like, you know what? I could take the day off. I could chill out. I could have something to eat. But you know what happens? If I get on here and I actually do this, then I'm gonna have more content, and it's an opportunity for me to reach another person. I've reached thousands of people just getting on here and talking to you guys about my personal experiences and the experiences of other business owners and other people that's trying to build something special. So I'm hoping that I can get on here and motivate at least one person. You know what I mean? If I can motivate one person to reach their goal and to just think more positive, because a lot of times we have, so our default is negative. So if we wake up in the morning, we don't want to go to work. We don't want to do all of those things that's going to really benefit us in a great way. Our default is like, nah, I don't want to do that. But then we have to push ourselves to actually get up in the morning, and we have to push ourselves to make sure we get the things done that we're supposed to get done, right? So, that's what I'm here to do. If I could just motivate one person, and they can learn from what I'm doing, and, that's what it's all about. So, I do have a business feature today. Um, this is Lisa Nichols. She's a motivational speaker, business owner, and she is the epitome of hustle, man. Um, Let me see. These are some of the things that she talks about, and certain things that she learned along the way, right? Um, let's see. Okay. So Lisa is the founder of a company called Motivating the Masses. It's a personal and professional development company. Motivating the Masses provides coaching programs for entrepreneurs, speakers, and leaders, online courses for personal growth and wealth building, live events and workshops to empower individuals globally, books and digital products that focus on mindset, communication, and transformation. Now, perfect she's the perfect person to talk about today, because it's the Monday mindset, and she's a motivational speaker, and it totally fits with what we're talking about today. So again, this is Lisa Nichols, successful business owner, motivational speaker, and what makes her special is, let me see. let's get into this article, as a matter of fact. There's a good article that was on success.com. It's about her. And she talks about having just $12 in her bank account. And she was a struggling single mom, which is the story of a lot of women, right? A lot of women, single moms, struggling. And she still built her dream on the side. She worked hard. She was on public assistance. And she finally hit, like a lot of people, they finally get to a point where they're like, I'm freaking fed up, man. And here is a here's a quick, let me see, I didn't like that. Here's a quick Q&A that she talked about her life and her struggles, right? Who inspires you? My grandmother. She dances to her own rhythm. She sings on her own time. And she's lived long enough to know how to love the unlovable and forgive the unforgivable. Now, that's one thing that I really struggle with, forgiveness. When somebody does something wrong to me, I know that you should forgive them. And but I struggle with that, me personally. I'll forgive you, but I'm not gonna be around you. I'm the type of person, once you do something to me, I'll forgive you, but I don't really want to be around you anymore. And that's just me being honest. That's just me being honest. Once you do me wrong, then I don't want to be around you, but I'm gonna forgive you. I'm gonna forgive you, and I'm gonna forget about it. But you might not get those calls like you got before, and that's just the way it is. I'm just that type of person. You know what I mean? So, what is the best piece of advice you've gotten? My grandmother told me that quitters never win and winners never quit. That's the way I live. Winning is in my bloodline, and quitting was never an option. So, this is something that I talk about all the time, quitting. And no matter, sometimes you'll have somebody who started a business, or they started anything, whatever it is you're trying to do that you're trying to get better at. And it comes to a point where you've done it so long. Like I have some friends that they've been doing things for so long and they feel like they haven't benefited from it. So they quit. It's easy to quit something like you've been doing for a long time. I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. But the first thing you got to do is you got to find something that you love. Because if you love it, why would you quit? Why would you quit something that you love? Why would you quit? Why would you quit something that you love? The reason why you're quitting is because you don't love it. It's as simple as that. And she made a great point. Winners don't quit. Quitting is not an option. All right? Quitting is not an option. So let's keep going into this article. What is the worst? We did that already, right? Or did we do that? What is the worst piece of advice you were ever given? Tune everything and everyone out. Work, work, work. All right, so you can't always tune everything out. You can't always tune everything out. It's just, and I could see why that's bad advice, because you can't just tune everything out. Sometimes you got to face those fears. You got to face the problem head on. Otherwise, it's just going to linger around. And another question: what do you know now that you wish you knew then? That success is holistic. It includes my spiritual, relationship, and physical growth. And it's not just my financial and business success. That's an amazing point. She's saying her sanity and her spirituality is just as important as her money in her bank account. And that's powerful. It's a powerful statement. And I'm going to tell you why. I always talk about this in this You got to be grounded. You got to have the right mentality. You got to have you got to work on your mental health, because your mental health is extremely important. You got to make sure that you journal, you do whatever it is. You know me, I do voice notes. You got to make sure whatever it is you do, you got to do that and keep your mental peace. And that's what kept her grounded, and that's what led to a lot of her success, is the fact that she stayed grounded with her mental health and spirituality. It's very important. What's your favorite quote? Success is my birthright. She says she doesn't know who said it. Success is my birthright. That's powerful, man. That's a powerful statement. Success is my birthright. And it says, another question was, what books are you reading? And here are a couple of books. Work the System, The Simple Mechanics of Making More. And yeah, so. And another question, what is the most fascinating thing you've researched? And she says neuroplasticity. The power to change the brain, the power of thinking a thought or thinking an experience is so intense that you literally shift and expand your brain. That's pretty interesting. So, if you're just tapping in, I'm talking about Lisa Nichols. She is the business feature entrepreneur today. We're just talking about some of her personal quotes, some of the things that she's gone through in her life. She was a struggling single mother. And then one day she just hit rock bottom and she said, you know what? I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to work hard. And she created her own company, and she became one of the top public speakers in the country. And she built a name for herself, and she didn't give up. Her business is called Motivating the Masses. Again, she has coaching programs for entrepreneurs, speakers. She has online courses and stuff like that. And she's very successful, Lisa Nichols. And we just went over a Q&A where she answered a lot of questions about her personal life, So okay, so one important thing she talked about is your past doesn't define your future. Now, we all made mistakes. When I was young, I made some mistakes. That doesn't define your future. Just because you make a couple of mistakes, as long as they're not a mistake that's going to land you in jail for a long time. If it's a mistake that bad that lands you in jail for a long time, you can still get out of it, but that's going to be rough. We're not going there. We're talking about small mistakes that you make in the past while you're young. It doesn't define you. It didn't define her. She was a single mom and struggling with $12 in her bank account, and she still made it happen. All right. And she also says, you don't get what you want, you get what you believe, right? That's a powerful statement, because belief is everything. That's why a lot of times you don't need to share all your dreams with people. Sometimes you don't have to share all your dreams with people. You can just share a couple. Share one, but don't share all your dreams. You know why? Because this statement right here, You don't get what you want, you get what you believe. You have to believe in yourself. Not everybody's gonna believe in you. If you tell somebody you want to be a superstar basketball player, athlete, and they'll look at you like you can't play ball. But in your heart, you know that you're good enough to make it to the league. But sometimes people want to crash your dreams. People don't want to see you get to that next level. You know what I mean? So that's a very powerful statement. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe. And I definitely take that to heart. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe. You have to have a lot of belief in yourself, people. You have to really believe in yourself, and you have to work hard. And you have to believe that you have the ability to work hard enough to get to that next level. It's going to take hard work to get to that next level. But you can do it. Now, I love that quote. You are the author of your own life. You know what's funny is I used to tell people that all the time. I used to tell people that you're the author of your own life, man. You gotta write that book. And you can write it any way you want to. It could be an amazing story, or it could be a boring story. But you're the author. You're writing it. You get up in the morning and you have an opportunity like every other person in the world. You got up this morning, so you have the same opportunity that Bill Gates had. You have the same opportunity that Michael Jordan had. You had, well, maybe not exactly Michael Jordan because he was gifted with height and basketball ability, but you woke up this morning and there's millions of people that woke up this morning and is not going to take advantage of it. So you don't want to be that one that's, if you're listening to this message, you don't want to be the one to wake up and not take advantage of your opportunities. You know, get up and take advantage of those opportunities. Set some great goals and write your story. You know, you are the author of your story. And I love that quote. And whatever you write, that's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? And I don't have to really get detailed into it. But Lisa Nichols went from rock bottom to go to global speaker. You gotta really focus on yourself. Ask yourself every day, what do you need? What do you need? You know, what are you committed to? You know, who inspires you? Who inspires you as a person? Who in your life really that you look at and say, you know, this person really inspires me? Sometimes, and I'm gonna be honest, sometimes we're not all fortunate enough to have that person in our life that really inspires us to do something. To do something. It doesn't even have to be super big. Just do something good. Just do something good with yourself. Not everybody's fortunate enough to have that type of role model, man. And unfortunately, sometimes the people around us aren't really working as hard as they should, and that's the people that have to teach us. So you have people that are around you that aren't really working as hard as they could, and then they're trying to teach you. And what does a person that doesn't really work hard teach a person that's learning? You don't really work hard, so you know what I'm saying. So you gotta, if you don't. My point is, if you have people around you that don't inspire you, go out and find somebody that inspires you. Go out and find that person that's gonna motivate you and help you be motivated to take things to the next level. Whatever you're trying to do, you know, everybody out here, is trying to do different things. Work, be an engineer, be a nurse, be an influencer, whatever it is you're trying to do. It's gonna be hard to do it if you don't have a role model. Go out and find your role model. Go out and find somebody that's doing whatever you're trying to do. 9 times out of 10, it's been done a million times. You know what I'm saying? What is the best piece of advice you are ever given? Wow. Now, if somebody asked me that question, what is the best piece of advice? And I'm not going to tell you where it came from, right? Because I don't want to name drop. And if I said the name, you probably wouldn't believe me anyway. Because every time I tell people this story, they don't believe me. But this is a very successful superstar. They gave me some advice. And he basically sat me down. And we were talking about music. And we were talking about hit records. And he said, anybody can make a hit record. Anybody could drop one song and do something right one time. They can win one race. You can get up one morning and do really good at your job one day. You can go to work and you can do everything perfect once. But it takes hard work to do something for a long period of time. And that's that consistency, what I'm always talking about. So his point was, anybody could do something great once. Anybody could do a good deed. Anybody can see an old lady fall on the ground and you go over there and help her and lift her up. But everything you do after that might be messed up. But you did that one thing. But his point was, you can't just do something once and expect to have long-term success, right? You got to get up every day and you got to help that old lady up every day. You got to do something great every single day. And that's the hard work. Doing something great today. Like me, I didn't want to get on here and go live today. I wasn't really feeling it. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really feel like getting up and getting on here today. But I'm here. I'm here. I made it. Right? And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I got up and I got on here. Sometimes we don't want to. What's the worst piece of advice you've ever been given? Now, I got to think about that for a second. The worst piece of advice. It's probably been a lot. Someone told me that I didn't have to get my master's degree. They say, man, a bachelor's degree is enough. You don't need to go to college and get your master's degree. You ain't even going to use that. And I went and I got my master's degree anyway. And it ended up helping me in a major way. It helped me to take things to the next level. And people, when people hear that you have an MBA, it doesn't have the same impact as it used to have. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why having a college degree, an MBA, whatever it is, a doctorate, doesn't mean the same as it used to 10 years ago. Because now you have people straight out of high school that are making millions of dollars with no education. They just have a smartphone. Literally just a phone, and kids are making millions of dollars on YouTube. So that degree doesn't hit the same anymore as it did 10 years ago. But for me, I'm a big supporter of education. I don't care if you're making $1 million a month. You should still get your college degree, because then it's going to help you manage your money. It's going to help you be more organized. That's just my personal opinion. Regardless, I always feel like education is still very important. I don't care how successful you become. And someone that I look up to, Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal is probably close to being a billionaire if he's not, but he's steadily growing. He became like a police officer. He got he went back, and I think he got his master's degree. He's always telling his kids to go to school and get their education, and they don't have to. Their dad is a billionaire. They don't have to do all of that, but he went and got his education. He owns a ton of stuff, restaurants, but he still went back and got his master's. It don't matter how much money you make. You should be educated. You should know what you're doing. You should know how to manage your own money. So if somebody's stealing from you, if somebody's taking your money, then you can defend yourself. You know what to do, because you're educated. You're not a total idiot when it comes to managing money. That's why you got to get your education. That's why I respect people like a Shaquille O'Neal, who's a billionaire, but yeah, he's still going to school and getting more. I think he's going to get either a master's degree or a doctorate degree. And he's in his 50s, a billionaire, and he's still going to school. There's nothing wrong with that. And I really think everybody should be on that. Even someone like Mr. Beast. He's a billionaire from YouTube. Why not go to school? Why not? You got the time, you got the money. Learn more, grow. It's all about growth, man. You know? My favorite quote. Wow. My favorite quote. You know what? My favorite quote, man, let me think about that. I have a simple one. My favorite quote is just do it. Just do it. Get up in the morning and just do it. There's nothing more simple than that. You know? Don't quit and just do it. That's from Nike, right? It's really simple. Just do it. I love that quote. And it worked. It made them $1 billion company. And it works for me too. Just do it. Right? The most fascinating thing I've ever researched. Wow. What was the most fascinating thing that I ever researched? I'm not sure. You know what? I think the most fascinating thing that I've ever researched is the subconscious mind. I think learning about the subconscious mind is really amazing, because the subconscious mind has to do with everything that happens in your life, and it gets stored in your subconscious, right? Like race car drivers. They drive all the time, and they already know what to do when a certain thing is about to happen. How to turn, and that's all built up in their subconscious mind, right? So that's probably the most interesting thing, fascinating thing that I've studied, was the subconscious mind. So definitely do your research. If the subconscious mind is very interesting. So I was just going over some questions that they asked Lisa Nichols, who is the featured entrepreneur today, Mindset Monday, the Vault 500, day 32. And, I was just giving my take on those questions and how I felt. But Lisa Nichols, check her out. She's really dope. And this is the Vault 500, day 32. I want to thank you guys for checking in. I appreciate it. King here, and I'll be back tomorrow with my favorite day, Tech Tuesday. And We're going to be talking about a lot of the technology, the new technology that's out right now, and seeing what, the opinions on it is. And so I'll see you guys tomorrow. The Vault 500 Day 32, King here, and I'm out.